we are answering a big question, probably the reason that most of you signed up for this course actually. What is a nutritious diet? And you're probably hoping that right now I'm just going to tell you what to eat, you'll know what a nutritious diet is, you won't even have to take the rest of the course, and you can move on and tell your friends and family. But the truth of it is that there is no simple answer to what is a nutritious diet. In fact, I would say the simplest answer is whatever feels good in your body is a nutritious diet for you. When we are trying to answer this question of what is a nutritious diet, we need to keep in mind that we're answering it within a larger culture, diet culture. Diet culture is a system of beliefs that worships thinness and equates it with health and happiness, when thinness does not necessarily equal either of those things. Diet culture also promotes weight loss as a means of achieving higher status. So if you lose weight, you're at a higher status. That's not okay either. Diet culture also demonizes certain foods while elevating others, so that we think there's good foods and bad foods. There's really just foods. And finally, diet culture oppresses those who don't match up to its standards. And by and large, people oppressed by diet culture tend to be females, femmes, transgender folk, people of color, Black people, disabled people. Anybody who's not a white male tends to be oppressed by diet culture, and even white males can feel oppressed by diet culture too. So why are we subscribing to diet culture, and what can we do about it? To combat diet culture, we have what's called the weight-inclusive approach to health. And the weight-inclusive approach to health is really contrasting against the weight-normative approach to health, which is how you may have been trained to look at food, nutrition, and weight. So what are the differences between these two approaches?
Let's start by talking about the weight-normative approach to health. This is probably an approach that you are familiar with, even if you haven't heard these terms. The first belief of the weight-normative approach to health is that weight is a risk factor for many diseases. This means that if your weight is higher, the weight-normative approach posits that you are at risk for diseases such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, metabolic syndrome, etc. The weight-normative approach also believes that we can all achieve a normal weight, which means that we should all be questing to achieve a normal weight. And if you're not at a quote-unquote normal weight, that you should be on a diet to then achieve that normal weight. And finally, the weight-normative approach says that weight is an important indicator of health. So your weight in and of itself is an indicator of health, no matter what health behaviors you might be doing, no matter what other conditions you might be dealing with, it's your weight that's an important indicator of health. Contrast this view with the weight-inclusive approach to health. The weight-inclusive approach to health says that health behaviors are risk factors for many diseases, not just your weight, and not your weight really at all. This means that health behaviors such as exercise, the type of foods you eat, whether you smoke, whether you drink alcohol, whether you get enough sleep at night, whether you take care of your mental health, all of those things are going to be risk factors for disease. Your weight is not that important. The weight-inclusive approach also says that we are destined to be a different weight. We're all destined to have our own weights. So there is no such thing as a quote-unquote normal weight, and we shouldn't all be striving to achieve the same normal weight zone. We're all meant to be wherever our bodies want to be on the weight spectrum, and this is generally dictated by our genetics as well as lifestyle factors, potentially. And third, weight is not an important indicator of health. This means that no matter what your weight is, from the low end of the weight spectrum to the higher end of the weight spectrum, you can be healthy. Your health is much more dependent on, as number one says, your health behaviors, which you have generally more control over than your weight. So here are the two approaches in summation, the weight normative versus the weight inclusive. You can see that they take a very different view on how important weight itself is to health. In this class, we will be primarily using the weight inclusive approach because I believe that emphasizing health behaviors is a better way to take into account all facets of health: mental, emotional, physical, spiritual, all facets of health.
So I figured it might be helpful if we look at some examples of the weight normative and weight inclusive approaches. And to do that, I turned to social media because that's where you're really going to find a lot of examples of either weight normative or weight inclusive thinking. And the app I chose to find examples on is TikTok. Why? Because I've recently fallen in love with TikTok. Yes, I am probably too old for the target demo of TikTok, but everybody can use TikTok and it makes me laugh so much. And yes, I've done a lot of the dances. I've got the whoa, I've got the clapping, I've got the sassy moves. So I can rock TikTok too as an older person, but it does provide many wonderful examples of weight normative and weight inclusive approaches to life. So I'm going to show you a few of each and I'm going to talk them through as you watch. Okay, so right off the bat, she's declaring how many calories she needs in a day. Very weight normative. And also very low. Chia seeds, rice cakes. These are traditionally diet foods. You can eat all sorts of foods to be healthy. Her lunch is a beautiful, wonderful salad and kombucha, and if you like those foods, it's awesome. But you don't have to eat only plant-based foods like her dinner to be healthy. You can eat all sorts of foods to be healthy. So that's the issue with this one. It just kind of is like the typical white girl diet culture day in the life. Not bad, but a lot of pressure for everybody else to eat that way too.
Every guy thinks that every girl's dream is to find the perfect guy.
What?
No. Every girl's dream is to eat without getting fat. Duh.
Problematic. That should not be every girl's dream. The fact that it could even be considered to be every girl's dream shows us how misogynistic diet culture is. It keeps women, like that's the height of our dream, is to eat and not be fat? Ladies, we have work to do. Or we should be dreaming to be president of the United States. Like we can do that. We can do so much more than worry about if what we're eating is going to make us fat. Because guess what? We have to eat because eating gives us the energy we need to change the world. We should not be ashamed about that. That was diet culture talking. Okay, no, COVID-19, no, masks back on. COVID-19 is not a weight loss plan. It is a deadly disease. Diet culture takes a deadly disease and makes it into an attractive weight loss plan. No, masks on, no COVID-19. Thank you very much. I love this TikTok because it really dismantles what many people think a dietitian should look like, sound like, be like. And she is representing a weight inclusive approach so well for dietitians who are the authority on nutrition. This is actually a varsity volleyball athlete and she has struggled with an eating disorder, so now she does all this weight inclusive posting on TikTok, and I think it's so great because it shows you that, you know, it's okay to have fat, we all have fat, we all should have fat, and we can still appreciate what our body does for us even when we've got a little fat, because guess what? It's keeping us warm, it's insulating our organs. We're going to learn all about the wonderful functions of fat coming up.
Hey, so I've been working out consistently for the last 5 years, and it may come as a surprise to some of y'all that I'm not working out to have your ideal body type. I'm working out to have my ideal body type. And you know what type that is? None of your fucking business, because I am beautiful, I am strong, I do my job,
yeah, she does,
and I stay on my job. So next time you want to come to somebody and judge them whether they drink kale smoothies or eat McDonald's or work out or not work out, how about you look at your own fucking self and worry about your own goddamn body, because health is not just determined on what you look like on the outside. Health is also what happens on the inside, and a lot of y'all need to do a fucking cleanse for your insides. Namaste. Have a great day.
Right? Lizzo, I can't say it better than her, so I'm just gonna let it be. She's weight inclusive to the max. Love it. So, what is a nutritious diet? Now that we've talked about weight inclusivity, weight normativity, where do we go from here if I'm not just gonna tell you that some foods are good and some foods are bad? Like, what the heck are you even doing still in this class, right? I get that reaction. This is a weird, like, muddy question, okay? But let's just talk everything through point by point as we go through the class, and I hope by the end of the class you'll have a good idea of what a nutritious diet looks like for you, and it might change over the course of your lifetime, which is completely fine too. So first, let's talk about our energy yielding or macronutrients.
The macronutrients are our energy yielding nutrients, and another word for energy is calories. That means that the macronutrients provide calories, which are energy for our bodies. The first macronutrient is carbohydrates. Carbohydrates provide 4 calories per gram. Carbohydrates are a form of energy that many cells in your body really like. Your body basically runs on carbohydrates for its energy. And carbohydrate containing foods are things like pasta, rice, cereal, fruit. All of those foods have carbohydrates and will give your body pretty quickly digested energy. The next macronutrient is protein. Protein also has 4 calories per gram. Protein is important for building strong muscles as well as many other cellular functions. Protein is found in foods like eggs, meats, fish, tofu, beans and legumes, nuts. All of those will have protein. The last macronutrient is fat, and fat has 9 calories per gram, so it's 2 times as energy dense as carbohydrates and protein. Fat is so important for your body. 1, it's a storage form of energy. 2, fat will help you to cushion your organs, insulate your organs. Fat is also really important in cellular membranes and even in many hormone structures. Fat is found in foods like nuts as well as butter, oils, avocado, coconut. There are many sources of fat in our diet. The micronutrients. The micronutrients are different from the macronutrients in a few ways. One is that we don't need that much of the micronutrients, and the second way is that the micronutrients do not provide calories, so they are not energy yielding. There are 2 kinds of micronutrients. The first are vitamins, so vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, alphabet soup of vitamins, and you can find these vitamins in a large variety of foods, but you find many vitamins and minerals in fruits and vegetables. So the second type of micronutrient is minerals, and minerals are things like calcium, iron, magnesium, and again, these have a wide variety of functions within our bodies that we'll learn more about later, and they can be found in quite a few different types of foods. Many of your minerals can be found in fruits and vegetables, but they're also found in foods like dairy and some meat. So vitamins and minerals are found in a wide variety of foods. Vitamins and minerals you can get in supplements. However, if you take all your vitamins and minerals in supplements, you might be missing out on phytochemicals. And phytochemicals are bioactive compounds that are in plant-derived foods. And as we learn more and more about phytochemicals, we think that these compounds may interact with different metabolic processes in the body and help prevent different diseases. So it is important to get phytochemicals, and we will talk more about them. But it's something that you might be missing out on if you're getting a lot of your vitamins and minerals from supplements. The last nutrient that is really important for a nutritious diet is water. So you need to drink water every day so you can have hydrated and happy cells. And the amount of water you're going to drink is going to vary based on the temperature of the atmosphere around you, your individual needs, but usually following your thirst signals will help you get enough water. So those are our nutrient classes, our macronutrients, our micronutrients, and water. But there are also other considerations that lead you to make food choices. Factors that impact our food choices are things like, do we have enough food? Is our food supply adequate? Do we have a variety of foods every day? Do we have enough food available? meaning are we food insecure? We don't know where our next meal is coming from. We don't have enough resources to buy food. Our emotions can impact the food that we eat. Maybe you've noticed this in your personal experience, but sometimes people, when they're really stressed, either can't eat at all or will eat a lot. So we react to our emotions using food, and food can be an okay coping mechanism as long as you have other coping mechanisms for your emotions as well and other supports. Your habits are a big factor that impact your food choices. So maybe you're like me and you eat the same breakfast every single day. Maybe you eat the same dinner, the same snacks. So we have habits in the foods that we eat that can be really powerful. Social norms are a factor that impact our food choices. You might find that you eat differently when you're alone versus with other people, and that could be due to social norms. Our location can dictate the food that we eat. In Vermont, we get really great local produce during the summer, but we can't really get the same stuff during the winter. And so if you really wanted to eat according to like a locavore diet, you would have very different diets in the summer and the winter. And then your body signals are so important to listen to when you think about a nutritious diet. So eating when you're hungry, stopping when you're full. It sounds simple, but it actually, in today's modern world, is quite difficult to just listen to your body signals when deciding what to eat and what makes you feel good when you eat. So trying to tune into your hunger signals and your fullness cues can be a great way to set you on the path to having a really nutritious diet for you.
In this video, we've really talked through a lot. We've introduced diet culture as a phenomenon in our world that needs to be taken into account. We've talked about the difference between the weight normative and the weight inclusive approach. We will talk much more about them later in class. We've discussed what a nutritious diet might look like on a very broad level. So that's all for today. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you next time. Bye.